Hello and welcome to another edition of Destination DC. I'm Ty Hunter with 101 Country WBDC in partnership with Visit DuBois County. In any community, arts is a huge part of it, and maybe more so than other places. DuBois County arts is everywhere, and that's what we're talking today here on Destination DC. I'm joined in the studio with the Executive Director of the Jasper Arts Department, Kyle Ruber. Kyle.
Ty.
Nice to see you.
You too. Thanks for having me.
It's a big year for you guys.
It's, there's stuff going on.
There's a couple things. 50 years, man. 50 years.
Yeah. It's, we're really fortunate to be able to celebrate a milestone like that. And it's been great that we've been able to put forward an exhibition season and a performance season that reflects that support. And we try to give back to the community in that way, through those performances, through those exhibits. And it's been awesome to see the turnout and the response that we've gotten so far.
And as you've experienced yourself, when these artists who don't typically play venues and stuff of this size to a community of this size, you hear great things from them after.
Oh, 100%. And it's top to bottom. It's not just their experience with our staff, but compliments on the city, on the amenities that it has, on the hospitality they get at their accommodations. We're very fortunate to have places like, the Hampton Inn, #1 in the country. That is a big selling
We'll
point.
get to her in a second. She's over there smiling. She's over there smiling.
But all those components, and that also is a reflection of, the street department and the wastewater, water, electric, and then all of our local businesses and just everybody in the community that have worked together over many, many years to create a space and a place where when artists come in, they have nothing but a positive experience. And a lot of times they're surprised because they may Google Jasper and be like, oh, this place is 16,000 people. They come in and they're just blown away by what they do experience. And when they start to find things out more, they really do have a good time. We get follow-up emails all the time from agents and production managers about how great of an experience they did have in our community. And that reflects on everybody, not just our department.
Now, you mentioned the Hampton Inn. In partnership with the Jasper Arts Department, kind of going hand in hand, and a lot of the things they do is the Actors Community Theater, and that is where Shelby is here to talk about the ACT, because obviously with the Jasper Arts and the facilities, the ACT has put on numerous productions over the years. And I don't know how many years has ACT been around?
Longer than the arts department, yeah.
So longer than 50 years.
I believe 78.
You don't look a day over 30.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Shelly.
Thank you.
Now, obviously, you mentioned the Hampton Inn. Your family very much involved with the Hampton Inn. You yourself, congratulations, by the way. You guys just win every award that you can.
Thank you. We try.
You could be watching this right now or listening to it on the radio and never catch me on stage. I cannot recommend something enough. Step out of your comfort zone. It is the most rewarding thing I have ever done in my life professionally. It has paid dividends for me as far as confidence, just even walking into a job interview.
Absolutely.
That, what you have gained over the years and your time in stage and your time in theater and your time in acting has affected every aspect of your life.
Yes, I think it is a fabulous educational platform. I started with ACT when I was 7 years old and pretty much was a part of a production a year until I graduated high school. And I just think the public speaking, the ability to socialize, because you're meeting new people from different places. It's community theater, but we have people coming from Owensboro. We have people coming from Evansville, Lagodi, people you may not be going to school with or seeing on a regular basis. So you're making new friendships. And so for me, it's building that sense of community as well. But there's so much to learn from it. Like you said, even if you don't want to be on the stage, the learning how to run lights, learning how to run sound. I haven't directed yet, but that's something I'm really interested in doing. And so there's all kinds of new avenues to learn. And I think the younger you can get involved, the better, because there's just so much to take away from it.
And anyone can do it. Anyone.
Anyone. I just came off of doing Mary Poppins with one of my closest friends who is a mom of 4 under 4. I have 3 kids at home and I'm pregnant. So, we both work full-time jobs. Like, it's definitely possible for anyone to be involved, and at any level. Like you said, there are some parts that don't require as much time and responsibility. Same with if you want to just be involved in certain parts of the production aspect. It comes down to being closer to production time when your part would ramp up. But anyone can do it, and it is the most rewarding thing. Mary Poppins was very stressful. It's a huge production with a lot of moving parts. But I'm telling you, that first night at Bows, I think we were all like crying.
Yeah,
crying,
it
'cause
happens.
It's the best, most emotional
every
thing in the
single
world.
production that I have been in over the past couple of years has been amazing, and I still go back to Matilda, which was the most fun I've ever had on stage, and I got to share that stage with my daughter. And Wizard of Oz, I got to share that stage with my son. It has been so rewarding, and I highly recommend it. And let's get into some of the things that are coming up, because the next one is something that is maybe the best way to dip your toes into theater, whether it's, again, on stage or production, audio, Foley artist. You'll get to what that is in a minute, and it's coming up real soon. It's Dracula.
Dracula in October is going to be our radio play, and I'm someone who was not very familiar with radio plays prior to last season. ACT did the Twisted Tales of Edgar Allan Poe at the Black Box, and it was one of the coolest things I've ever experienced.
For those of you that aren't aware what a radio play is, or here we are talking on the radio, back in the day, there was no television. You couldn't see things, but you could hear them. And so entire productions were made on the radio. Now, back then, you couldn't just hit a button and a sound effect play. Somebody had to make that noise live. That's what the Foley artist is. And the creativity that I have seen over the past couple productions, even going back to some of the Christmas production radio plays, of how they made certain noises. And when you're sitting there in the audience, you are hearing it. The actors are in front of you, but they're not necessarily moving about. They're in front of a microphone, and their script is in front of them, which gives you the ability, because one of the hardest parts of any production is learning your lines. It's a lot of memorization. If that's not your forte or you've never done it before, your script's in front of you. So that part is covered. There's no choreography as far as dancing and running about. It is theater down to its nuts and bolts, and it is so much fun.
Yes, it is a wild experience where we really use sound and lights and voices of the actors and actresses to really create a scene. And we fell in love with kind of the Halloween genre last fall, and we decided to stick with that with Dracula this year. And I think it's going to be spooky and fun, and people should really come out and be a part of it. Like Ty said, it's a good way to get your feet wet, where you can, read from your script. Or if you want to try Foley, we have typically volunteer members of our board are the ones that are running Foley.
And they would absolutely love if someone would volunteer to be Foley, because that sounds like pun intended, sounds like a cool job.
Yes, and we're so eager to share that knowledge with other people as well. So to teach someone how to do that would be fabulous. And same with lights and directing and all that stuff. So it's definitely a fun one to look out for. I believe it's October 7th through 11th, 9th through 11th. 9th through 11th.
Don't look at me like I knew that. I got the screen pulled up right here. Yeah, it's the 9th through 11th, Dracula, the radio play.
Yes.
After that is another dinner theater experience. And you and I shared the stage in Rumors, which was an absolute blast.
Yes.
And this is the same kind of thing where you're on the stage with the actors and you've got a dinner in theater.
It's going to be, again, Rumors was my first experience with a dinner theater or having the audience on stage, which was just a whole new level of fun.
And then, of course, you've got the big summer musical coming up next year, which this year, Legally Blonde.
Yes, I'm so excited for this one. I think touching on something that is very recognizable for people as far as name recognition, but the show itself is fabulous. The music is so fun and high energy. It leads for a lot of female roles, but there are also quite a few big male roles, so there's room for everyone. I just think it's...
And a reminder, I have played a female role as a male.
You have, and you were fabulous. So Elle Woods, here you come, right?
Yeah, there we go.
That was his
Yeah.
announcement that he's going to...
I don't know. Kyle's blonde. I'm not.
So it's going to be really fun. We hope it draws, again, people from surrounding communities as well, because to touch back to tourism, but that only helps with tourism. People coming from Owensboro or Evansville to see their friends and their family, even if they don't decide to stay the night, which they might, but they're going to definitely come here and have dinner or do some shopping before the show or what have you.
Kyle, we talked about that lineup. Dracula, This Murder Was Staged, and Legally Blonde, the lineup for the ACT. By the way, you can always get involved with these productions. They even need volunteers for the arts department as far as upcoming performances, stagehands, and security, and things like that. This lineup, woo! I know you teased it on social media for a while, and people were kind of, okay, what's going to happen? And just anticipating. And then when this thing dropped, my goodness, you're running the gauntlet, and some very world-renowned performers are coming to Jasper, really kicking off September 20th, going all the way through April of next year. Let's run down some of these, Kyle, because you guys put a lot of work into this. It is an impressive lineup, and it is a chance to see names and performances that you will not see anywhere close to here. This is stuff that you would be traveling to New York City for. And bringing right here to Jasper, right at the Jasper Arts Center, some impressive names. Let's start off in September, Kyle, with Walk Off the Earth.
Yeah, so Walk Off the Earth is a group based in Canada they just came off last year of a world tour, exploded in popularity, both through their original music, but also through a lot of their inventive covers. And what I would encourage everyone to do is, if you'll see it on our socials too as we post, is if you watch some of their covers they do, like in their living room or their studio living room, they're using very unique instruments, kind of like we talked about the Foley artists and how that makes sense. They're using like kids' toys and like giant, like huge guitars that you have to have like 4 or 5 people to put some of these covers together. So just to be able to do something like that shows that they have a knowledge and understanding of music that is just extraordinary. And they're only touring in the U.S. playing in the U.S. 2 times.
Oh, wow.
And one is our stop.
You've got so much going on, a little bit for everyone, but when we get to April 11th, I don't even know how you pulled this off.
Inigo Montoya. Yeah.
I mean, you killed my father, prepared to die.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the guy we're talking about. You hear Mandy? I mean, this guy, you talk about talent.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be one heck of a show to close out this season.
It's unreal. And, that's some of the pinch me moments where, when I'm in conversations with folks, and it's not just me, like the whole group works together on it, but you don't think, this is what I talk about, like don't set our expectations low, because then we never find ourselves in these conversations. And it's been a number of years of working with and talking with, the right people who have the connections and establishing a good relationship to say, well, hey, what about this artist? What do you think? Do you think we could bring them in? It's like, yeah, I think so. And they wouldn't trust us to handle that if they didn't have a good experience the time or 2 or 3 before. So yeah, like to say like, we really got a shot at Mandy Patinkin coming and playing, and it's like, yeah, I think we can make it work. And then you throw out the offer and see what the worst they could say is no, and then you're right back to where you started. And then sometimes they say yes, and then you have Mandy Patinkin performing.
Unreal. Incredible lineup. How do we get involved with either the arts department? Because obviously always looking for volunteers because these are big productions coming into the arts center. They need help. They need help unloading trucks. They need help with running security. They need help staffing things and always looking for volunteers.
Yeah. Well, I will say that's probably the biggest misnomer I think that we run into as far as volunteer help, especially backstage. If you can move a crate on wheels, you're good. That's
you're not lifting 100-pound things.
You're not having to wire stuff. Like most of the time, they just want assistance getting stuff off of the truck and into the theater. That's it, and then back again.
And there's a loading dock. They just wheel it right off the truck usually.
100%. So, but I mean, you can go to our website, jasperarts.org. There's a Get Involved tab. I think ACT probably has something similar.
Yes, we have a website. I also encourage you to follow Actors Community Theater on Facebook, because that tends to be where a lot of stuff hits first as far as our announcements. For productions, we'll put out when we're hiring production staff. And
some of those are paid positions, by the way.
Yes, pretty much for every production we do, your director, your stage manager, music director, what have you, lighting, sound, those will be paid positions. So very exciting.
Yeah.
You can try something new and get paid to do it.
Your best bet is if you've never done this before and you're nervous, the radio play is a great opportunity to get involved in this, whether it be behind the microphone in that case or Foley artist or whatever, lighting. look for those audition nights and be a part of it. You will not regret it. It will be an addiction in the strongest sense of the word. You just can't get enough of it, and it is so important. And arts is a vital piece of the fabric that makes up any community, and it really shines here in Jasper and in DuBois County, and of course, all tying into making this place not just a great place to live, but a great place to visit, a great place to work, and it all brings it full circle. And you've got to have the arts, and we've got some of the best of everything. And Shelby and Kyle, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ty.
This has been another episode of Destination DC, all things DuBois County. We'll catch you next time.